Everything was fine until the hook went a bit too far, and from there was only one way left: down. One second it was steady, the next, it's on its side, logs everywhere, and no one saw it coming. A high-wire act starring a multi-ton truck. That's not just an excavator. It's a personal trainer helping the truck get back on its feet. Getting this machine to the remote site was a huge success. The road must have been specially reinforced to bear its weight. Its presence means that a major project, possibly the installation of wind turbines, is about to begin. Someone forgot that hard brakes and tons of rocks don't make a great couple. This truck clearly thinks it's an astronaut, just missing the launch pad. Someone forgot that gravity doesn't negotiate with heavy trucks. One tired car, one loyal friend, and the journey of dragging each other home begins. When the truck's too tired to go on, the tow truck shows up like a loyal buddy giving it a piggyback ride home. Seeing this machine in action makes me feel relieved. Imagine how many workers and how many days it would take to harvest this field by hand. This is a revolution that frees up the labor of farmers. How long do you think it'll take to get this truck out? 5 minutes or 5 hours? Make your guess. When you think your truck is a tank, but the field has other plans. The car sank in a moment of bad luck, and now it's back, soaked but still standing proud. When you believe in horsepower, but the road believes in gravity. That thing is awesome. These springs are amazing. The guys who run the old wreckers would be proud. Great job, Rick. Never underestimate mud. It can turn even the strongest machine into a monument of helplessness. Right now, that tow truck is teaching the big rig a lesson in pure determination. In just seconds, the heavy hauler flipped over. leaving behind a scene no one saw coming. The heavy machine sinks into the thick mud, like a steel beast struggling to escape nature's trap. The heavy machine dug into the thick mud, like a steel beast trying to escape from nature's trap. The truck's nose shoots up, rear wheels buried in the dirt, a split second caught between weight and chaos. It started as a normal drive until the road turned into a swamp and the driver became an accidental explorer. He handles the truck like he's brewing coffee, smooth, precise, and full of mud. The likely cause was either overload or wrong gear selection, leaving the truck without enough power to climb. It all started with one confident push on the gas, and a few minutes later, the wheels were just spinning in despair. This truck must have thought it was a mountain climber. Too bad it ran out of breath halfway up. On this steep road, the truck carries more than wood. It carries the pride of its driver. The giant machine seems to dance right on the edge between power and disaster. A perfect example of how underestimating soft ground can leave even a heavy-duty truck stuck in place. We are witnessing a fully mechanized potato harvest. This machine, which costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, can replace dozens of workers, harvest many hectares per day, ensuring a stable supply of potatoes for the processing industry. Engines roar, the cable's at its limit, yet that steel beast refuses to budge. That car just turned the icy road into an audition for the Winter Figure Skating Championship. Not everyone who enters the swamp comes back out, but hey, at least he's optimistic. You see, one impact was all it took to turn that truck into a shattered toy. If this were a movie scene, everyone would say it's over the top. But no, this is 100% real. Every journey has an end. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we witness the brutal and spectacular final curtain for a Volkswagen TDI. Its judge, not time, not rust, but a steel beast, an excavator armed with a bucket weighing tons, playing the role of judge, jury, and executioner. With each crushing blow, the car is twisted and shattered, erased as if it had never existed. This is why you should never assume a train will yield to you on the tracks. It's really old and really long, but it packs tremendous power. This isn't just driving, it's a performance of perfect synergy between man and machine, where the power of the engine meets the skill of the driver. Comment number 1 if you've never seen this in real life.
Вот так вот.
Skip checking the bridge's load limit, and the result is a free bath for both the truck and its driver.
Такое. Видите, как всегда мыли. Все 4, ё-моё. Чуть-чуть не хватает.
Well done! This is exactly what brotherhood among drivers looks like. Never leaving a friend behind in tough times. What an honor. Think you've seen heavy hauls before? Forget it. This isn't cargo transport. This is moving an entire mountain. What you're looking at is a single massive boulder weighing 102 tons. That's heavier than a blue whale, heavier than a main battle tank. And how do you move something like this? You need a mechanical centipede, an engineering marvel with dozens of wheels, each steering independently with millimeter precision. This is why winter drivers should always carry tire chains and recovery gear. If you've ever been stuck in the snow, share your survival tips with everyone in the comments.
Затаскивай на щитило.
Welcome to one of the most brutal battles of strength, the fight against winter. Right before us is a head-to-head showdown between a Soviet beast, the DT-75, and a heavy logging truck. The goal? To conquer a road so treacherous that even walking across it would be a challenge. This is clear proof misjudge the ground, and a truck can quickly become prey to the mud. With an excavator, even the toughest jobs become possible, including pulling a car. This time, the crane played the hero in the rescue, and the moment it turned its back, it became the victim itself. Inside a steel plant, a worker made a split-second mistake. He tossed wet waste into a blazing furnace. Seconds later, the moisture met the extreme heat, and the reaction was explosive. A stream of molten metal shot out like lava, nearly hitting everything around it. The worker was lucky to survive, but this is a chilling reminder. In places like this, one careless move is all it takes to unleash disaster. Before us is one of the wildest, most death-defying transport operations ever caught on camera. A concrete mixer truck, weighing tens of tons, is dangling mid-air, suspended by just a few cables, as if it were nothing more than a toy. But a single strong gust of wind, one faulty cable, or even the slightest miscalculation could have turned this into one of the costliest fails ever, sending that truck crashing down like a giant concrete bomb. Fortunately, this high-stakes lift touched down safely in the end. In this case, the best way is to unload the cargo first before starting the recovery. A steel knight straight into the frozen swamp and went down with no way out. See that? Just one careless reverse, and a peaceful moment turns into total chaos. This is terrifying. Like, does anyone know what's going on? To operate a beast like this, you're not just driving, you're commanding a controlled earthquake. And this is how it works, a symphony of engineering and madness. Beneath that cab isn't just an engine, it's a mobile power plant, a massive diesel block roaring with enough torque to tear the road apart. You know what? Today our little Kamaz isn't hauling cargo. It's testing out a half-floating, half-sinking spa service. This time the truck driver is practicing the skill of overtaking at almost the same speed while blocking every vehicle behind. Welcome to Siberia, where even the simplest jobs turn into a battle for survival. Look at that fearless commander perched precariously on the trailer, signaling like a conductor in a symphony of chaos. And inside the cab, the operator has to be nothing short of an artist, guiding this beast of a machine with precision down to the very last centimeter. Looks like the driver got a little desperate, almost turning his own truck into a submarine. Before us stands a battle tank, a machine built for destruction, struggling to conquer a slick metal ramp in order to climb onto its trailer. This is a life or death gamble. The entire weight of the tank rests on just two fragile contact points. One slip on the frozen surface, one push of the throttle too far, and this war machine could slide back down, or worse, tilt sideways and become a million-dollar wreck of steel. Look at this rescue. It's just like fishing, except the catch weighs tens of tons. In the end, the truck rises out of the water like a massive steel whale. The truck hurtles downhill, every second ticking like a countdown to a terrifying rollover.
Dude, there's no place to go. Whoa, 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 there's no place to go. What are you doing? There's no place to go. Oh, 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 oh my God. Whoa, that is so crazy.
A full body massage, but a little too rough.
He is crazy. Yeah.
His truck turned the boulevard into a tense scene. Oh no, that's one drop nobody wanted, and now the whole road's in chaos.
Hey, sono sciapato meus amigos. Sono sciapato que acontece essas coisas.
Rain makes the road slick, and if the load isn't secured properly, just one shake can spell disaster. Comment number 6 if you also thought that thing was on fire. At first I did too, but nope. It's just a chickpea harvest running at full throttle. Pretty wild, right? Welcome to the backstage of a highway nightmare, where a truck met a tragic end. And here comes the cleanup crew, a giant crane beast and a living legend. The tow truck Sibadak, the Rhino. Look at this. A whole chunk of twisted metal that was once a truck is now dangling in the air, hanging on fragile cables. This is a dance of destruction and salvation, a $1 million gamble that keeps everyone on edge. This accident reminds us that just one moment of carelessness can turn the whole truck into a massive burden. Another shining example of steering wheel holders who don't know what a safe following distance is. When the load is distributed wrong, the front gets too light and the result is a dangerous wheelie. A giant truck in Sabah is hauling what looks like an entire forest of timber, and every stretch of road feels weighed down. It's truly a display of skill, where a driver's courage, experience, and determination are pushed to the limit. When two giants pick the wrong lane, the collision feels like a steel handshake. Comment number 1 if you've ever witnessed this in real life. Right before my eyes was an unbelievable sight. A massive truck had toppled onto its side in the middle of the road, heavy like a fallen iron beast. Then the rescue team stepped in with cables and hydraulic winches, all moving together like a dance of raw power. I held my breath as the cables tightened, and then, in a dramatic moment, the truck slowly lifted itself off the ground, like a steel monster rising again after a crushing fall. Can this 60-ton machine really take on a 125-ton boulder? Let's find out. Welcome to a frozen graveyard of history, where old Soviet-era machines lie forgotten beneath thick snow. And today, a modern yellow beast has arrived, not to destroy, but to rescue a relic from its icy tomb. This wheel loader isn't just pulling, it's battling through frozen ground as hard as concrete, fighting to free its worn-out brother. It's a risky operation. One wrong hit, and the relic could shatter. One slip on the ice, and the rescuer itself could become part of this graveyard.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
They call it mechanical power, but to me, it looks like pure steel magic. Before our eyes unfolds a spectacular rescue, a massive trailer overturned, lying awkwardly across the road like a fallen beast. And then the hero arrives, the excavator. At first, it doesn't rush to drag the heavy trailer. Instead, it takes the smarter approach. With firm, precise bucket strokes, it removes the load piece by piece, lightening the steel prey. Once the weight is reduced, the excavator swings its bucket, hooks tightly onto the trailer's frame, and begins to pull. Not with wild, uncontrolled jerks, but with slow, steady movements, calculated down to each inch. And then the miracle happens. The multi-ton trailer gradually rises, flipping back onto its wheels like a beast awakening from slumber. This is why you should never tie down a load that exceeds your vehicle's pulling capacity. The Komatsu D85EX, weighing dozens of tons, slowly moves into the forest. With every drop of its blade, the soil and rocks are torn apart, thrown up in layers. This is not just machinery at work, it's mechanical power conquering nature. The operator stays steady with every move, turning a rugged mountainside into a flat new road. The uneven load distribution plus the slippery, muddy road, the perfect recipe for a wheelie. "30 men on one rope, a tractor on the other. Who do you think will win?" The heavier the rain falls, the more the mud sticks like glue, straight out of an action movie. With a roaring echo, the truck seemed to be fighting against the whole mountain. Every meter forward feels like a life or death battle against the ice. What if I told you that a single winch could make a 15-ton dozer look like a toy? This is the Marco winch system, powered by hydraulic force straight from the dozer itself. With the H10B drum delivering up to 55 tons of pulling power, it doesn't just move heavy vehicles, it redefines what heavy even means. Right before my eyes, the beastly LKT-81 is slowly dragging a massive log out of the forest. And honestly, the sight alone gives you goosebumps. What amazes me isn't just the raw power of the LKT-81, but the way it controls every single move. No rushing, no jerking, just steady, rhythmic pulling, like a seasoned athlete who knows exactly what his body's capable of.